Hello, this is Dr. Culkin, here to discuss some of the major points for the reading for Topic 3, Part A. The reading this week addresses the experience and politics of slavery in the United States. As you might remember from History 10, after slavery became profitable, in large part because of the cotton gin, it became much more difficult to end. The large-scale agriculture typified by the plantations in the South continued to grow, giving plantation owners a vested interest in keeping slavery legal within the United States because they were making money. The majority of Southerners, however, were small farmers who owned few, if any, slaves. This section of the population supported slavery as well, some hoping to get ahead for themselves, some believing freeing the slaves would threaten their own livelihood, and some liking the feeling of superiority being free in a slave society gave them. It is important to remember that even in the dehumanizing conditions of slavery, enslaved men and women found ways large and small to resist and assert their independence. Slaves could not legally marry, but they formed bonds and created families and considered themselves married. Although slave owners could break up these families through sale at will, these connections were critical to the emotional strength and feeling of the community of the enslaved. Religion also played a central role in the development of a community and a sense of hope among the enslaved populations. While many slaves were Christian, they wove aspects of African religions into their belief system and stressed passages of the Bible that addressed freedom from bondage. Slaves also resisted slavery in more overt ways. At times there were open revolts, culminating in Nat Turner's rebellion in 1831. Thousands of slaves ran away, and others chose to work slowly, feign illness, sabotage the tools of their owners, and some even may have poisoned their owners. By the 1830s, discussions of the gradual emancipation of slavery were disappearing in the South, replaced by justifications of slavery, much of which were based on the idea that whites were inherently superior to people of African descent, and people of African descent needed white people to take care of them. At the same time, however, abolitionist groups were becoming a more powerful public presence, even though they were considered a fringe element for quite a long period of time. In 1830, the American Anti-Slavery Society was founded, calling for the immediate emancipation of the slaves and a refusal to participate in the existing corrupt political system. By 1840, one group of abolitionists had splintered off, hoping to work within the political system. The abolitionist movement, for all its tensions, was unusual in that it was so inclusive, a place where men and women, whites and African Americans worked together. In 1848, another reform movement sprung up, in large part from women involved with the abolitionist crusade. The Seneca Falls Convention, held in upstate New York, helped spark the women's rights movements as women, who at the time could not even vote in most states, began to argue for their rights. It would be another 72 years before women got the vote. As the country continued to expand westward, tension over slavery continued to increase as the country worked out ways to determine which states would allow slavery. In 1820, the Missouri Compromise rules that slavery would not be permitted above a certain latitude, 36 degrees and 30 minutes. Again, inflaming passions on both sides as a huge parcel of land came in south of the Missouri Compromise line. Eventually, Congress passed the Compromise of 1850. There were several elements to the compromise, including admitting California as a free state and allowing inhabitants of other territories to determine whether slavery would be legal. One provision, however, proved to be the most controversial in the North, the Fugitive Slave Law, which made it illegal for citizens to assist an escaped slave, even in a state where slavery was illegal. The compromise briefly appeased both sides, but satisfied no one fully, and soon tensions would rise again. Okay, that's it for this week. As always, remember to participate in this discussion board and answer the reading questions, and email me with any questions you might have.